All right, a buddy of mine brought me his mother-in-law's car. It's a '04 Buick. Anyway, they took it to a tire store and they told him it needed struts and a couple tires and a couple tire pressure monitor sensors. So I'm just going to check it out, see if it actually needs struts. It's got 120,000 miles on it. It might, but I doubt it. A lot of times these stores just try to sell you, you know. See an old lady come in and say, oh, you need struts or whatever. It may have been legit. We're going to find out though. It's actually my barber's mother-in-law's. We've become friends, and I've worked on some of his stuff, and hopefully we're going to collaborate and do some fishing, and maybe some hunting. And but anyway, in the meantime, we're going to check this Buick out. I'm just going to film this on my little GoPro here. I'm going to set this thing up on the rack. We're going to lift it up and check it out. I'm just going to check the lift, make sure we're not getting into any rockers or anything. We're good. All right, we're going to bring it on up. All right, I'm going to leave it at this height right here for right now, and just kind of check the tires. Yeah, they're on the wear bars almost. It's definitely going to need some tires soon. That one's wearing pretty even. Let's see what the other front one looks like. Yeah, same. It's going to need a tire. Set of tires on the front at least. Let's see. Ooh, I just put my knee right in some water. All right. Yeah, the back ones are getting pretty close. She's got some life left. I mean, I don't know how much driving she does, but she probably doesn't have to have it set right this second. There's nothing crazy with the wear pattern. I'm gonna check the see if I can set y'all up right here. Hey. All right, I like to just give them a tug, side to side, up and down. We'll look at the struts. Everything's wet because it came in the pouring rain yesterday. Now let it drip out overnight. The struts are kind of rusty looking. But it's just soaking wet, so it's hard to really tell. Alright, we're going to do the front one like that. Same deal. I'm going to give it a side to side, a little bit of play there. A little bit of up and down. Got a little wheel bearing play, not terrible. Sway bar end link is broken in half. All right. See that? End link's broken. It's supposed to go straight through there. It's snapped off. Never seen that before. Huh. All right. Let's check the other side. See what's going on with this wheel. Oh yeah, a lot of play there. this big box store, tire store, so they needed struts, but I can't believe I didn't see that. Time for some batteries. I think the nut's just loose on that tie rod end. I think it's just the nut's loose. I'm gonna try to tighten that up. All right, we'll go on up. Oh, lighting in here is terrible. That nut may be loose on that tie rod end. It looks like that tie rod end's been replaced before. See how that end link is? This one's broken. Got a little bit of an oil leak going on. These things are notorious for leaking. It could be from oil change that somebody just did sloppy. The oil filter's up there. There's a little bit of rust in some spots. Let's see. See, everything's still wet back here. I can't tell if there's oil. I don't think there's oil. I think that's water. Struts are a little rusty. Look at the counterweight on that muffler. Or no, that's just a secondary muffler. That's some sort of resonator. It actually comes out. I thought it was a balance weight at first. That's weird looking. I don't think I've ever paid attention to the exhaust on one of these. That's some counterbalancing. Takes the vibration out. All right. All right, I'm gonna lower it back down and just do a standard little bounce test to see if see how the struts feel. I may take it for a quick test drive. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tighten that tie rod end up real quick, and then I'm gonna test the rest of it. All right, I got it back down. That tie rod end didn't want to tighten up by hand. I didn't want to. I even put a little, put my long ratchet on it with a pry bar, and scared I was going to break it. So I'm going to say it needs a tie rod end. That tie rod end has been replaced before. It's different than the factory style on the other side. I don't know if they used the wrong one or what. I can try to take it apart and tighten it up, but I don't know. I got to test the tire pressure sensors as well. I'm just going to kick the rack back out and just do a little bounce test on it. See how bouncy the struts are, if they're noisy. I have not driven this car yet. I'm going to go take it for a drive as well. See what it drives like, what it feels like. If I hear any weird noises, I'm going to pop the hood up real quick. See what the top of the strut mounts look like. My bad, it's a 07. A little rusty, but the back strut's got the bodies of them down where they mount the lower control arm is kind of rusty. but it's really wet from the rain. I mean, we've been having torrential rain. We had some flash flooding, and we had 4 inches of snow, and then now we've got flash flooding again, all within about 5 days. This is Tuesday. It started last Thursday with flash flooding. Saturday we had a bunch of snow. Now we're having flash flooding again. Hopefully the rain will let up a little bit. It's not raining right now, but anyway, let's bounce this thing. I can hear the valving working. It's not bouncy. See if there's somewhere I can set y'all back here. All valving seems to be working. It's not bouncy. We know it needs a tire rod in on this side, sway bar end link on that side. It's going to need 4 tires soon. Doesn't have to have them right off the bat. They said that they had nitrogen put in the tires at another tire store, and ever since then the tire pressure sensors were acting up. You know, nitrogen was invented, or not invented, but it was started being used in airplanes because of tire pressure loss at high altitudes. So they thought it would be a great idea to start selling it to people in cars years ago. It's just another sales gimmick. It's just a smaller molecule of air, basically, or maybe it's larger. I can't remember which. I hadn't studied it in many years, but I looked into it when I had my shop open to the public because everybody started asking about it when it started getting popular. Well, it doesn't matter if you've got a nail in your tire, you've got a cracked valve stem, a leaking valve stem, that nitrogen's coming out. Why pay for air? I mean, that's all you're doing. You're not flying this car around at 30,000 feet. So don't pay for nitrogen unless you just, I mean, I have not seen any benefits to that, but I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there is going to argue about that. But look, that stuff does no good with a puncture, a crack in a tire, a cracked valve stem seat leaking, nails, none of that. It's a waste of money, total waste of money. Don't get suckered into that. Just put air in your tires, and then you don't have to worry about it. And everybody gets freaked out. Well, I got air in my tires, or I got nitrogen in my tires. Can we put air in them? Yes, you can. It doesn't hurt a thing. All right, I'm gonna grab the tool real quick and check the tire pressure sensors. I guess their light's been on. I like to use Autel products. There's many different ones out there, but this little tool I've recently purchased for doing tire pressure monitors. So I think you got to put a battery in this every time you use it. Nope, it's still on. Okay. All right, we're going to go into TPMS. Yes. This is a Buick. There we are, Mr. Buick. Well, I can't remember what kind of Buick this is, LaCrosse or something. Yeah, LaCrosse CXS. Okay. This thing was made in 12 of 06, so it's an 07. Let's see. (0106) through 1206. That's what we've got here. Let's just scroll down one more time. That should be what we have right there. It was actually made in 06 at the end, very last run in 06, so we're going to go up to the tire here. It's usually in the valve stem area. Front left's got 33 pounds of pressure. It's good to go. Now it wants us to go to the front right and test it. Where are you? There you are. Lighting in here is terrible. £27 in that tire, so that one's low. And it wants us to go to the right rear. But the sensor's good in the front right. 30 psi, 30.3 psi. So we've got one low tire, two almost. Okay. So it looks like all our sensors look good. I'm gonna pump that front right tire up, and I'm gonna equal them all up to about 32 pounds, and we'll go for a drive in this thing, see what it does. All right, we're gonna go drive this thing. Aired all the tires up, and they are working. The sensors are working. So it's possible that batteries could be getting low in them. It's a fairly old car, some miles on it. Those things usually last about 5-6 years battery life, and you might get 10 out of them if you're lucky. And then you just got to replace them. But if you're worried about that, you might as well replace all four when you do a set of tires, and when it gets some age on it like that, because they'll just drop one at a time. You got to break the tire back down to get that sensor out, and very likely that somebody's going to break a sensor putting tires on it anyway. If they misdiagnosed this car like the way they did, they're probably breaking sensors. It's probably why they went ahead and tried to sell her too, because they knew that they were probably going to break a couple while they were doing the tires. I've broke them before. They're a pain in the butt. I hate those tire pressure sensors. I like being able to watch my tire pressure from the inside while I'm driving, but when it comes to mounting and balancing tires and longevity of those things, it's not very good. All right, we'll go for a quick drive and see how this thing runs. So it's my buddy's mother-in-law's car, so we want to sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? There's power steering going on. Oh yeah, hear that? Yeah. I don't know, man. I think they have misdiagnosed a great deal of this. Can't see, everything's fogging up. Like I said, we've had a ton of rain, and this power steering noisy. May have been some of that fluid I was seeing down there. road. I'm not gonna go very far. I'm gonna go ahead and turn y'all off. So safety first, right? I'm gonna be vlogging and driving. Okay guys, we're back from the test drive. Drive's pretty good, runs good. It's gonna need a set of tires, sway bar inlet, tie rod end, alignment. Tire pressure sensor's working. It amazes me how bad, let me clean this out real quick. A little dirty looking. It's amazing how bad that shops will misdiagnose stuff. I mean, they try to sell her 2 struts, 2 tire pressure sensors, and 2 tires. She needs 4 tires, no tire pressure sensors, no struts, a tie rod in it, and a sway bar in there. Possibly 2 front wheel bearings. They're getting a tad bit loose, so she can wait a little while on those. I don't even know how much she drives this car, so I won't, ask them that. She could actually make it, a few more months on these tires if she really wanted to. But it is getting down to the wear bars, which means it can't channel water away properly anymore, which could mean hydroplaning. You don't want your mother-in-law, your mom, your grandma, or anybody hydroplaning, cause serious accidents, and that's just not good. We're going to open the shop back up, pull this thing back in, before it starts raining again, in case they want to do some work today, and I don't want to be dripped on. So back to the shop it. Alright, so unlock my doors. This lock's sticking, guys, so I gotta fix that. Alright. Shut that. Kick this cord out of the way. I'll keep running over that. Got me some ramps. This shop was built before I moved here, and they didn't have any kind of transition. They got these barn doors that slide, and I guess that's why. I don't know. They're just poor design. This whole building is a poor design in my book, but it's all I got right now, and I love it. I wouldn't give it up for nothing, unless you want to help me build better walls, insulation, a mezzanine, push it back a little bit, push it that way a little bit. Eventually it'll be bigger, and it will be heated and cooled, and that's many years to come. I got a long way to go. All right, what we're decided to do here, or what the customer decided to do, we're going to put a tie rod end on it. So we're going to replace this tie rod end because it's just not pulling down. The taper is not. You tighten that nut, it doesn't tighten anymore, and it's still got wiggle inside of here. It's not at the joint. It's not at the tie rod at the rack. It's wiggling. The post is wiggling inside the spindle. So I'm thinking it's got something wrong with the taper on the tie rod end, or maybe this is wallered out. That's very possible too. If that's the case, then it's gonna have to have a spindle to repair it. And then we're gonna replace the broken end link. It's clearly just broken in two. And then they're gonna go get a set of tires, and then either I'll align it, or they'll have a tire shop align it. I suggested that he try to get like a deal on 4 tires in alignment. Might get like free rotating balance for the life of the tires, or free alignment checks, or something like that if he goes with a reputable company. I told him not to go back to the tire place that tried to sell him 2 struts, 2 wheel sensors, and all that mess that he didn't need, or she didn't need, the mother-in-law. Anyway, I'm glad I was able to help them. You know, it makes me feel good that they're getting what they need and not just a couple things they need. They want to sell them 2 tires. They need 4. They want to sell them 2 struts and 2 tire pressure monitor sensors. They don't need 2 struts or 2 tire pressure monitor sensors. All 4 of the sensors are working. And all 4 of the struts are working. They're not leaking. They're not bouncy. Everything's fine there. So it just blows me away. Anyway, I enjoy helping people, though. I really do. I like it. Hopefully this helps you. All right. Maybe I'll do a recap at the end, but I'm not going to film me replacing this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and knock it out. He wants to get it back pretty quick, so I'm not going to fool around with these cameras by popping this tie rod in and this end link on. I'll get it buttoned up, let them take it. That way it's ready for them later when they get home or when they get off work. All right, till next time. All right, just want to give y'all a quick update before I go any further. You can see the difference in the taper of the tie rod ends, okay? You can see how that sticks through so far. This one's not going to stick through nearly as far, but it should pull down tighter on the taper. I just wanted to give y'all a better view, better vantage point of that. I'm pretty sure that's got the wrong tie rod end on it, period. Probably gave it a, probably one like part number off or something. The part store probably gave them the wrong thing, whoever did it, because it's definitely not the original one. So hopefully that'll fix it for them, and that'll tighten that up, and then we'll pop that end link on the other side, which is nothing. It's just a couple nuts and it's out. Then they'll get some tires in alignment, and that'll be that. All right, cool. See you next time. All right, real quick, just want to show you. End links installed. See that? It attaches the sway bar to the lower control arm or the spindle. It depends on how it's attached. Usually the sway bar. Sway bar to control arm. That one's still intact. Got the new tie rod end on. They're going to get some tires and alignment, and they'll be all set. Peace.